Ladies.
What the? No, no, it didn't go. It didn't go. Now it's going.
It did. But we're watching the YouTube, not the...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's do it again.
Okay. Wait. Do we do the... Okay, hold on.
We can't. It's not going to play it again.
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors, and everybody in between.
It is 8:30 in Vienna, which means it's time for
It Should Be About Something.
That's
right.
Yes, that's right. Today is Thursday, the 27th of January, 2022.
That's right. And this is our 60th. Our sexy 60th.
Sexy 60th.
Sexy 60.
Texty.
Sexy 60th episode. And to which we have, from a fan, the wonderful Anne sent us cake pops.
Cake pops? Oh, cake pops.
Cake pops.
Cake pops.
They're like little cakes.
Yum. Did she make these herself?
She made these herself.
No way. Seriously, she made the cake pops herself.
She made the cake pops herself.
And the wrapping.
And wrapped it all together and put little bows on it, and they're wonderful.
Wow.
Check this out. I'm gonna give it. Look at that close up. Oh yeah. Check them out.
Check this out. You know, you can do this. Also, they can be used for all sorts of things. You know?
Yeah. So,
nice.
Cake pops. 60! Yay!
60!
Good job.
Yeah, well
We made it this far.
Waving at the screen, yeah, waving with a cake pop.
So welcome. This is It Should Be About Something. If you're joining us for the first time, we invite you to hop on the chat. It's a super fun place to be. And we'd love to know how your week is going. So drop a line. There's a whole bunch of folks already doing their thing. In the meantime, how's your week been?
How's your week, Jim?
How's my week? It's hard to remember now. Okay, let's think back.
Okay.
We didn't do any prep tonight. What happened this week? Last week, we had a show, and that was our colonoscopy show.
That's right.
And if you haven't seen
Colonoscopy show.
the show where we reviewed colonoscopies,
Right,
that was last
yeah.
week. And if you haven't seen it, you don't need to watch the whole thing because Michael made an awesome little short about it. Short out of our review of colonoscopies.
I got everything in there.
I think you did a great job. And then I have zero idea. See, I don't even know. I'm going to look at my calendar.
I think my week's been kind of more of the same, actually. I've made inroads on baby-proofing my apartment and setting up furniture.
Nice.
To put stuff in.
Nice.
I moved the baby crib into the bedroom today.
Cool.
And moved the other stuff out.
Nice.
Yeah. We did a course today about breastfeeding.
Are your nipples sore?
I've learned a whole lot about breastfeeding.
Are your
and
nipples?
the most important thing, and this is for everybody out there,
Yes.
boobs, like breasts
Yeah.
that babies feed from,
Yeah.
they think of them as burgers.
What?
Yes.
Why?
They need to be-
What does this mean?
So it's breast milk burger.
Okay. What does this mean?
Because in order for babies to get them in their mouth,
Right.
the breast size is not ideal. The breast shape is not ideal,
Right.
and all breasts are different shapes anyway.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So the best way for it to be is if the breast is shaped like a burger. So you press it together, and then the baby it's easier for the baby to latch on.
All right.
Depending on whether the baby's lying this way or that way, right? You're gonna make a burger out of it.
You're gonna make a burger.
Right.
Okay.
You always got to think of the boobies got to go into the baby's mouth like a burger goes into yours.
So if you have been blessed with burger boobies,
Yeah.
you're all set.
No, you're not, because there are only burger boobies in one direction. Like if you had very narrow boobs, right? Then they would be ideal burger boobies if your baby was lying on the side. And if you had burger boobies like horizontally, it's only good if the baby's upright.
All right.
Or on your shoulder.
Okay, so if you have burger boobies, you're halfway home. But if you don't have burger boobies, turn your boobie into a burger,
Well, you gotta,
and the baby will be burping.
You hold. Yeah,
The baby will be burping if your burgers.
Make a burger out of it.
The baby will be burping if the boobie is a burger.
Baby will be burping if the boobie is a burger.
Boom.
I think I'm gonna carve that on the crib. The baby will be burping if the boobie is a burger. I'm gonna notch that on the crib.
I love it. I love it. We did a photo shoot.
Oh, we did do a photo. My God, that feels like it was 3 weeks ago, but we did
Right?
a photo shoot. That was a nice photo shoot, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't
one of
for
the
his
more
best.
enjoyable photo shoots.
It
Shout
was-
out to the guys who did that.
Yeah,
Clemens and Max.
to Clemens and Max, and that was super fun with the Lovers. And speaking of the Lovers, we're going to be performing with the English Lovers in February at Vienna's English
this is
Theatre.
true, yes.
In front of live people.
Wow.
Super excited about that. But that's a future thing. Yeah, the week kind of trundled along. I had a couple of nice meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was Monday,
yeah,
and then it was Thursday.
yeah,
And I don't know what happened.
yeah, yeah,
I got run over by half of the week.
yeah, yeah.
So
So that's how that goes.
so I think we actually need an extra day in the week. So I'm
We really
gonna
need to make this 8 days a week thing work.
I'm gonna say that from now on
Yeah.
we need new calendars.
We need new calendars. We need
an
a
Isbaz calendar that has an extra day in it.
It's a Thursday to Thursday
Thursday to
calendar. It's
Thursday,
8
yeah.
days a week. Yeah. All right. I want to say hi to some of the Isbazuzlas and Isbazians that are out there. Before, though, a quick shout out to a special Isbazian tonight, to follower of Clay. Thank you so much for hijacking the intro.
I don't know how you managed to do that. I mean, this place is as safe as Fort Knox.
How did he get through our defenses? Michael!
Well, there's a shotgun in the hall. I don't know how he got past it.
He was obviously hacking. He was clackety-clack, hackety-hacketing. He was...
With a hatchet.
He was hacketing with the hatchet.
He came in, he tunneled in through the ground. Aha! He made it past the shotguns in the hall because he tunneled in through the ground.
Like a mushroom.
Like
a mushroom.
He's living in our cellar.
This mushroom motherfucker. Yeah. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for that. That's terrific. And also, a follower of Clay and some other folks have been throwing up some really fun stuff in the Isbaz HQ, but we'll talk about that later. Let's say hi to these folks. Let's say hi to follower of Clay, to Monica.
Melina, that's an interesting face. Toxic E12T13, welcome back.
Christina
You haven't been on the chat for a while. Oh,
yeah,
Mr.
no
Perkins.
kidding. Mr. Perkins, Andrew Toy, not staying long, been absent due to some new meetings. Yeah, but good to see you, brother.
Philly Girl 1000, mushrooms are good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Philly Girl 1000 knows her shrooms.
Anarab, thank you so very much, and thanks for being here as well.
Are we going to review these today?
We are not going to review these. We are just going to enjoy the shit out of them. We could give them
50 out of 50 sleps, just,
from the get-go.
From the get-go.
I mean,
50 out of 50 sleps because they're made.
They are
made for us.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Super good.
Marcos is here.
Hey,
Pavlov's dog.
Pavlov's dog in the house.
Winter has gotten a hold.
What's that?
Such a great week. Monica has such a great week. Dang. Tell us about a girl. What was so great about your week?
Is that a spanked bottom? Or is that a pig's snout?
I prefer it as a spanked bottom, actually.
Yeah.
Trying some alcoholic medicine tonight? Are you self-medicating? What are you medicating? Like what are your ratios and what alcohols are you using?
Okay, so two things. One, the line from the song "Give Me That Wine" from Lambert Hendricks and Ross that I say all the time. I only drink for medicinal purposes anyway, which I think is a great line. But secondly, there was a long time ago where I had a dream of opening a little cafe, a bar cafe, that would serve soups, but also drinks. A little bar cafe, and all we would serve is soups. The place is called The Apothecary. And everyone wears, white coats, all the servers and stuff. And the idea is that you come in and you can, on your cart, you look for your symptoms, and then
you get the booze,
and then you get the booze or the soup that's got like the Chinese medicines and the good mushrooms or whatever's in the soup to fix what ails you. But there's the psycho side of the card for drinks and infusions and things like that, right? And then they would mix it up and do the thing. And The Apothecary. I would totally go to that bar.
I like it.
Thanks.
I remember, I'm not much of a brandy drinker, but I've been to Agent Oscar's on Zollagasse, and the bartender there was like, "So what do you usually drink?" And I told him what I usually drink, and he said, "Well, why don't you try this?" And he mixed me a brandy cocktail.
Right.
And I got to say, I'm not really a brandy drinker.
I hear you.
It's not my go-to drink.
Right.
Not even brandy mixes of any sort. But if I want to party all night, brandy's the way to go because I can get mega drunk, but I don't fall over and I don't get tired.
Well, here's the thing.
And beer, I usually get tired at some point, or wine, and vodka, I get so sloshed that I have to lie down. So, there's different drinks do different things to different folks. And
I hear you.
It's more than you think, right?
But I thought with your new regimen...
Well, my new regimen is just get drunk as quickly as possible.
There's no drinking all night long. There's just slosh it back.
Well, no, I'm just giving, passing on the knowledge that a person who has reached 60 has to impart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of us that have reached 60 episodes.
No. So Pavlov, I'm psyched you got a job interview as a teacher. Got an invite for a job interview as a teacher.
Amazing.
What are you going to be teaching?
That's fantastic.
Would be
very cool. Yeah, Christina's got the busy week with the doctor's appointments and the stuff.
Yeah, she's got another one tomorrow. He used my underwear. Oh, he put it on his head.
You've been to too many docks, Jim. Yeah, I got to go to all the docks.
Yeah, but he hasn't been to the doctor for a long time, so he's got a lot of catching up to do.
So speaking of the doctor, I think the doctor is in. Hey, is Bazoozlas? Slurp, slurp.
Yeah, no, I will. Not bad. I gotta say, I like Negronis. And there's two different ways of making a Negroni. You can make it with champagne, you can make it with soda water. Both are really nice. Mm-hmm. I prefer the champagne version.
Mm-hmm. That's because you've got champagne tastes.
Negronis are like getting hit by a train.
I see.
Even if I make them, particularly if I make them myself. I make a mean Negroni. It's really a mean motherfucker of a Negroni. Okay. But I've never had a Negroni that I didn't like, and I've never had a Negroni that didn't fuck me up. Like, Negronis have one, and if you're gonna have a second one, you know you're gonna be fucked up.
Right. Okay. I hear you. I hear you.
I mean, you know what goes into a Negroni, right?
Tell us, Mike. Tell us.
It's just 3 different kinds of booze. 3 different kinds of booze, and and if you're doing the champagne version, it's 4 different kinds of booze, and that's it. There's no mixing or thinning down of the ingredients. No, it's gin, vermouth, champagne, and something else. Can't think of it right now. Deadly.
Maybe Marcos, who has been in his lifetime a professional bartender, and quite a good one at that, yeah. Maybe he can throw in a good recipe for the Negroni.
Professional chef as well.
Yeah, that boy's got skills.
He does. Biology, maybe chemistry.
Right. Pavlov's dog.
Cool.
If they acknowledge my biology, it's so weird. Like, sometimes a biology degree will come into the room, and I just won't acknowledge it. I just won't. But other times, if it's a biology diploma degree,
right,
I will acknowledge it. I will say, "Yo, what's up?"
Right.
You want to go to the Buddy Bud Bar? That's what I'll do. I'll ask that thing if it wants to go to the Buddy Bud Bar.
We're going to find out what the Buddy Bud Bar is, but I hope we don't find out soon.
Are we cracking these open? Are we going to toast?
Yeah, I think I just got hungry.
Oh, did you?
I think I just got the munchies thinking about all those Negronis. Gin martini and vermouth, there we are. And champagne. Yum.
Gin martini. Martini? I thought, what? Martini? I thought martini.
Well, martini's actually vermouth, that's right.
Is it martini vermouth? I think maybe he means it's... No.
Always mix them up. Yes. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
I hope so. I'm trying to get to the inside of this. All right.
There we are, Campari.
Gin.
Vermouth and Campari.
Vermouth and Campari. And champagne.
Yum.
Because that's what my boy likes. So, cheers. It's a
cake pops.
Cake pops. These are...
Whoa! That was way softer than I was expecting. Not the consistency I was expecting at all.
Mm-hmm. They're a little low sugar.
Yeah, but I like that.
Mm-hmm. They're not as... I think she said they are a low sugar, but what I like is they don't taste overly sweet. It's a nice, maybe it's because of that. What do you think of that consistency without reviewing it?
No, I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you what. She also sent 2 more in this, format. And I'm going to send them home with you for you and Christina.
August and September. Very nice, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Super yummy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, into it. Now we're all hopped up on sugar. Let's do this. You want to do this?
A double brown, a double clear, a double sweet, topped up with champagne. Yeah, that's why they're so deadly. It's two of everything, and then champagne on top for good measure.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. Well, let's slurp to that.
Slurpy. So, Negroni Spagliato, yes. Champagne instead of gin? Oh, you're not wanting to be a smartass, but you're being a smartass. And this is news to me because every time I've had a Negroni Spagliato, it's been champagne extra. The place to go and try this is Minante on Siebensterngasse. My God, they make good Negronis there. And their pizzas are pretty good too.
You heard it here first, folks. You heard it here first.
You flirted here first.
You flirted here first. Sure.
Have you already pressed chapter 1?
Not even close.
Like we better get this fucking show
Trying
on
to
the
get
road.
to it. I'm just wanted to ask you, are we reviewing anything this week?
I have nothing to review.
Good. So check out the review that we did on colonoscopies. That's in the HQ, but we'll talk more about that later. I'll tell you this much though, if you're joining us for the first time, you won't know this, that It Should Be About Something comes to you in 3 parts. We call them chapters, and this is chapter number 1. On knowing your neighbors. What's happening?
Do you know your neighbors?
Well, that's what we need to get into. So that's our question. Our first question is, do you know your neighbors? And the second follow-up question is, if so, how is it? And if not, why?
And do you like knowing your neighbors?
Yeah.
You know?
So, knowing your neighbors.
I think knowing your neighbors is a very, very tough situation to get into.
Sure. It's
Because
fraught.
they're always there.
It is a fraught situation.
You can make bad choices. Like you can just be unlucky and be next to the bad neighbors or evil neighbors or annoying neighbors.
Yeah.
And then you can make a bad choice and then befriend them, and then you never get rid of them.
So,
They're always up in your shit.
so now I know all of these are fears, right? These are the things that can happen. Has that happened to you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I've had super nosy neighbors who like wanted to talk to me all the time and
Okay.
invite me over for dinner and shit like that. I'm like, what? No, just leave me alone. And they can get kind of weird and annoyed when you don't want to be their best friend.
Right. Okay, so this happened to me in a very tight amount of time. This is years ago. I am flying from Vienna to New York, or New York to Vienna. I'm over the Atlantic somewhere, and my neighbors are this very nice couple.
Right.
He's a cop. She is an Apothekerin.
Right. So Austrian cop.
An Austrian couple. Very nice, and we had a conversation, and it was all cool and easy and fine. And then I was using the time to write a letter, and I can't remember who I was writing to at the time, but this is before email, because I'm writing a letter. And in this letter, I'm describing what's happening on the plane, and I had described this couple as very straight, but super cool, something like that.
Right.
And then I get one of these, and I'm like, oh hey, and he's like, what does this mean, super straight?
Oh, he's reading your letter.
He's reading my letter while I'm writing it and then calling me out on it. And it was super uncomfortable. Soured the entire nice thing that we had, and now they're my neighbors who I can't get rid of, and they're just sort of giving me the vibe for the rest of the plane ride.
And were you on the aisle?
Yes, of course.
So did they hold it in for 13 hours, 9 hours? Or did they make you get up when they wanted to go
I
to
don't
the toilet?
remember, but I'm sure they made I remember it just being super uncomfortable the entire time.
Terrible.
I've had a lot of luck with neighbors.
When you've been living next to them, not just flying next to them.
That's right, with actual living neighbors, in the building. Sometimes you make your luck with neighbors.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and had no influence about where I lived, I had the luck to have a bunch of really nice people around me, and they became, they were great neighbors. Some of them were dickheads, some of them weren't. But now in my adult life in Vienna, I've had a lot of really good luck with neighbors. I haven't had very much bad luck at all.
I remember as a kid, we'd play with the neighbors' kids, no matter whether they were dicks or not.
Yeah.
It was just like there was a bunch. There was like a crowd of 14 kids messing around in everybody's shit.
Yeah.
And it's like we just towed along.
The thing is, though, because that situation is so fraught, and also because you're older, you're an adult, it's harder to make friends the older you get. The more difficult it is to make friends the older you get. I feel like there is a certain amount of, that guardedness creates a lot of fear, a lot of, just because everyone knows it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
When I think the younger you are, the more apt you are to be open to neighbors, it feels like. Mm-hmm. And so I think there's definitely an age component to this whole thing.
Right.
Because there's a difference.
I think that really depends on your personality. I think I'm much better at making sort of casual acquaintances with my neighbors now than I was when I was a kid.
Right. Well, this is what yes, casual acquaintance, but that's what I mean. It's like, how far are we knowing the neighbors?
Yes.
Like
I try to I try not to get past casual acquaintance.
Right. And so because it's so difficult with knowing your neighbors, I've had a lot of great moments where I've got tons of neighbors, who would have keys for my apartment or, who have become very, very good friends, and they started out as neighbors. But in fact, just recently, we had our neighbor move out, and the sweetest thing, and I still have it, she wrote a little note thanking us for the neighbor, the Nachbarschaft.
Yeah, it's interesting. When our neighbors moved out last year, and they rang our doorbell, and it was 9:30 at night, and they're like, "Oh, we're moving out. You guys were so great," and I was thinking, what do we do? Like, we didn't do anything.
We actually
never had you around. We never had us around.
That's why they loved you. That's exactly why.
We never got up in their shit.
Yeah.
They were thanking us.
Thank you so much for staying out of our business. We understand you as other people who understand that people ruin everything.
Maybe that's what they were thinking.
So thank you so much for
not ruining it,
lessening the ruining.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat's got to say about their neighbors. Now we go back in time again. Marcus knew too much of the old ones, slowly building with the new ones. That's nice.
Yeah, it's a slow build with your neighbors. Like, you've got 10 years to get to know them.
Yeah.
And you want to do it slowly enough.
Yeah.
You want to kind of do it at like glacial
You're
speed.
Stretching the honeymoon phase.
Exactly. So that maybe in the third year you can still stop moving completely.
Yeah.
And you haven't even kind of crossed the space between the two apartments, the two houses yet. You're still each person's still in their doorway, kind of thing. Right?
Yeah. Monica, the real chicken tender in the house. Hello, bub. No, my neighbors don't like all of them, and we have a new one who was surprised we were disturbed by his drilling or whatever he was doing at 11:30 at night, but he seems to be a nice person.
So did you go down and say, stop drilling at 11:30 at night?
Or was it like one of those things the next day where you happen to see him next to the post box and say, hey, was that you drilling at 11:30? And then suddenly all of the other neighbors are there. Hey, yeah, what was going on with that 11:30 drilling last night? What's happening there?
That was a big hole you were making.
Yeah. Yeah. Pavlov's dog, where I still have my official residence. Yeah, I know them, but I wish I wouldn't have had to listen to their many arguments. Yeah.
We have a neighbor at the moment who has a really infectious laugh.
Oh,
like
really?
When she's on the phone, you can hear her laughing through the wall.
Okay.
And like that wall
Does it make you laugh?
The wall must be very thin.
Does her laugh make you laugh?
Well, it makes me smile because she'd be on the phone or something and she'd be chatting and like, it's really, really loud, and it's so genuine,
right?
Like she's having such a good time, right?
Dude, we need to invite this woman to a show. Sounds like we got a shill, a perfect shill. We had these neighbors for a long time that would scream the most awful, hurtful, terrible things at one another for hours. And then she would start slamming a door, just slamming the door and screaming. Ah! And then he would say awful things, I hate you, I've always hated you, I hate your, just awful things. And what we started doing then was to yell at each other really lovely things.
Oh, you told me this when you were living in Florida, and it was like the next house, right?
No. It's in our apartment.
Where you're living now?
Where I'm living now, and we would just yell these really nice things, like I really love your cooking. You're incredibly good in bed. I love how much you're supporting me. And we would just scream these really nice things.
Did you ever get a reaction from them?
I think one time they stopped for a little while, but who the fuck knows? They moved out, thank goodness.
Good.
We now have, it was empty for a long time. We had 3 apartments around us in our building that were empty. And now a young couple has moved in, and maybe this is what brought up the idea of knowing your neighbors. They've moved in downstairs, and we've heard them doing the moving in thing. And they actually did some late drilling now that you mention it. But I have made no moves yet to
befriend them.
In any shape or form.
To acquaint yourself with them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All my neighbors moved out because of the refurbishing of the building. I used to live in a building that had only had one apartment as well. Only the annoying subtenants remained, of course, one above and one below my apartment.
This is interesting actually. So has the building been refurbished or should you be actually moving out? Because fuck, it's terrible living in a building that's being refurbished. I lived next to a building site where they were building a Tiefgarage, and that went on for like 2.5 years, and it was impossible to leave the window open in summer because they'd be
just so loud,
power hammering at 6:30 in the morning. That they always start with that.
Yeah. What we got? Oops, what's happening with the thing here? Pavlov's dog was talking to their neighbor about seedlings and planting. That's nice. Father of Clay knows their neighbors, of course. One is a Tagesmutti. The other one is an old lady. From the time to time, he visits her and has a chat and they yak and that's nice. I had a nice old neighbor in an old apartment, Frau Kohut, and she was lovely. She'd lived in that building since she was a young girl, and like during the war, young girl, and. It's that old apartment where Wir is, that building. And underneath it, they put in a disco. And then underneath that is another cellar.
Oh, right.
And in that cellar, there's a tunnel that goes in, and it's collapsed, I don't know, about 200 meters in. But there's tunnels all around down, throughout Vienna.
Vienna's full of tunnels.
Yeah, but I used to hang out with her She was a cool neighbor. Cool old lady neighbor. Somebody who speaks Russian. What does this say? Is that Russian? I don't know. I think it's Russian. Looks like Russian. Vinfiae.
Yeah, it's a bot. We used to have a neighbor when I lived in Salzburg. We used to have a deaf neighbor, very hard of hearing neighbor, old lady.
Yeah.
And she'd have the television on full blast, and then she'd fall asleep in front of the television. And our sleeping room was next to her living room. So you'd go to bed, and the television would be blaring full blast at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So I don't remember how many times I got up and tiptoed out into the stairwell and just unscrewed her breakers.
Why don't you slide your chair just a little bit forward? I feel like tonight, the whole time, I keep having to...
Am I upstaging you?
You're upstaging me.
God damn.
The shouty neighbors, and 45 minutes to try to get the drilling dude to hear the doorbell. That sucks.
I had a neighbor once who owned the building that I was living in.
Much like the real chicken tender, whose landlord lives directly below them.
Oh, right. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he gets in, drunk as a skunk.
Right.
And he's got music blaring at like full blast.
Right.
And I go down and I'm like, what the fuck? So, hammering on the door. And we had to wait for like a break in the music.
Right.
So the hammering on the door.
Right.
And he opens and he's completely fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to sleep, man. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, turn it down.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just having a little bit of a party. He was on his own.
Oh, God.
Completely smashed. I'm just having a little bit of a party. I'm like, man, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you come in for a bit? I'm like, no, I'm not coming in for a bit. Turn the fucking music down, you dick. I'm going to bed now. Right? He's like, oh, another 10 minutes. I'm like, no, nothing.
Come on, just give me 10 more minutes of party. I'm in. You want to come in? And then the 10 minutes will feel like 5 because it's 2 of us. It'll be great. What do you say? Come on. You want to do some blow?
That's exactly
All right, we're going to do another round. I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it on knowing your neighbors. You got to do it glacially, slowly, be as polite as possible, but drop the hammer if they're drilling at 11:30 at night. Because good fences make good neighbors.
Oh yes, that's true.
And if you can do one thing with your neighbors, that is stay out of their business.
I got to say, we got some neighbors. I don't know, whoever owns some of the apartments in the building that we live in, rents them out without vetting people properly. Because, like, in the past year and a half, there's been a couple of people who've moved in who just fill the trash cans up with rubbish, and then they're so full, like unfolded cardboard, for instance, right? And then the paper, and then the paper gets emptied on Wednesdays, and it's full on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then nobody can throw anything away until next Wednesday.
Because people are idiots and they ruin everything.
Because some fucking idiot has just taken a whole cardboard box and thrown it in there like that.
Yeah.
Today I found polystyrene in the paper trash.
Don't do that. Just, man, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
This is why.
Sometimes I feel like going into teaching lessons mode.
I'm calling it. We're done. That's it for the neighbors. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and neighbors and everybody in between, this is chapter 2.
He's not doing the thing.
The thing that you tried to make it do?
The thing that I programmed it to do is
The
not
thing
doing.
you...
Cheers.
Cheers. You programmed it? You programmed it to do a thing, and now it's not doing the thing?
And it's not doing it.
Yeah, we programmed our start to do a thing too. We weren't doing that. It's all fucked up tonight.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to get into this. We're not going to go there.
We're not going to go there.
No. What's chapter 2 about?
Chapter 2
played. Very subtle.
On household chores. Chapter 2 on household chores.
So are you okay, so here's my question actually. Are you the person in your household and you, dear Isbaza, who designs the chores and is in charge of the chores getting done? Or are you the person who gets the chores thrust upon them?
You don't achieve the chores. You're not born into the chores. The chores are thrust upon you.
Which caste are you in? Are you in the
Right.
Are you in the directional caste or are you in the receiving caste?
I see.
Chores wise. It's way past the water clock. Yeah. Oh boy, Marcus, no.
Do you have chores when you're living by yourself, or is it then considered survival essentials?
If you're on survival essentials, dude, you really got to watch out.
I hear what you're saying. No, they're chores.
Like
You got chores.
chores end here, and survival essentials is like way down here.
Yeah. So, beyond being the one who gets the chores or designs the chores, I want to ask you, we all have preferences.
Which chores do I prefer?
Yeah, which chores do you, it's a two-part question. Which chores do you prefer to do? And which chores do you actually do?
Okay.
Take your time.
I'm actually sure there's a difference.
Okay, well, let's hit the first question first. What chores do you like to do?
I generally enjoy doing chores that involve power tools.
Okay, so what are the chores that you like to do?
The drilling of holes.
Okay, that's not a chore. Those are projects. Chores are the
so
everyday, the regular
right.
things, the things you got, the survival essentials, the things that you do to keep the house going, to keep the the relationship smooth.
Right.
There's chores. Those are chores. Special projects, installing, create. No. Chores. Cutting the wood, bringing in the water. What needs to get done? What are the chores that you like to do?
But not so much bringing in the water.
Yeah, okay. So what are the chores? What are your household chores?
Chopping the wood is one of the household chores that
Great.
I do.
Love it.
I go down to the cellar and chop the wood there.
You're a very good man because you've got one of those cool little stoves in your house.
Yes.
It's a good stove.
Yes.
So, okay, so chopping the wood. But what other household chores? What are the? Give me your top 3 household chores that you like to do.
There's not a single household chore that I like to do.
I see.
So I would have included like taking the car to a service, but I don't even particularly like doing that.
Taking the car to the service? Michael, get in this. No, taking
That's
the car.
a chore.
It is a chore, but it's not a household chore. Household.
is.
I'm talking about the
Yeah, I know what
vacuuming,
you're
the
talking
cleaning.
about. I know.
Okay, then why don't you want to talk to me about it? Why do you keep doing all this stuff about the other
I
stuff?
don't like doing any of those. I don't like doing any kind of household chores.
Great.
I think there's not a single one that I like doing.
That's a good answer to my first question.
Except for the chopping of the wood, possibly.
Second part of the question, then, what are the chores that you end up doing?
Oh, all of them.
You end up doing all of the chores.
Well, like a fair share of all of them, yeah.
Okay, give me the 3 chores that you do on the regular.
The cooking, the stacking of the dishwasher, the emptying of the dishwasher, the shopping, particularly the carrying of the shopping, the intensive vacuum cleaning that gets in all the places that the other vacuum cleaner doesn't go. The washing of the carpets.
How often does that happen?
That only happens once a year, but it needs to get done.
Sure.
The watering of the plants. Okay, that's the one that I actually enjoy doing because that's my project.
You like watering the plants? Nice. So what I hear here is that you do almost everything except for...
I'm not saying I'm the only one who does that.
Oh.
I'm not saying I'm the only one.
But these are the ones that you do
these
on the
are the ones
regular.
that I do regularly, right?
Yeah.
What I very, very rarely do is change the bed.
Right. You're not the bed guy.
I'm not the bed changing guy. No.
Right.
Or the changing of the towels.
You're not the towel changing guy.
Yeah, but I will change the towels.
What about laundry?
Very rarely
Do you do
change.
the laundry?
Well, because my wife is a stickler for laundry, there's very rarely any laundry that needs to be done.
Okay.
I washed some towels the other day because I didn't like
she's
them.
a stickler for laundry, there's very rarely any laundry to be done? So she's doing it. Meaning?
If the pile of laundry is this big,
Yeah.
she's going to wash that shit.
She's going to wash it. So she's the laundry person.
She's the laundry person.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you don't generally do laundry.
No, I don't
Okay.
generally do laundry. No.
All right. All right.
The nice Michael. Oh, she's saying no.
Yeah, she said there is. I don't know what the fuck is happening with this thing today.
It's frozen.
No, it's not frozen. It's doing some weird shit. Okay, so
Where were you going with this?
I was going where normal people would go, talking
Where
about the
normal
household
people
chores,
would go.
who understand that household chores are talking about the cleaning and the regular stuff that
But
you
the
have
thing
to
is,
do
you
to
don't
keep
own
the
a
house
car,
going.
so a car is not part
It's
of
not
the
a
chores.
household chore.
But it is
It
a
just-
household chore.
it's a chore, but
it is a chore that needs to get done in our household because we have a car.
Yeah, okay.
You got to think outside your own box sometimes. Like if you're asking me a question, you got to think inside my box.
I would, well,
You got to be prepared for the answers that
all
I'm
right,
gonna
you're
give
in
you.
charge of next week's chapters.
Finally, I have been praying for this.
Really? I wish I had known that earlier. And I'll take the note of trying to think outside the box, but sometimes just think inside the damn box. Sometimes just go to the box.
I didn't know you were pegging the box so small. I didn't know it was such a small box.
It's not pegging the box small to say household chores and be surprised when you're talking about.
It's a household chore. In my household, it's a chore. That's one of the chores. Somebody needs to get up at Sparrow's Fart, drive the car to the 12th district, and come back on public transport. Then 2 hours later, take public transport to the 12th district and bring the car back and
Yes,
spend
but you're
45 minutes looking for parking. It's more than a fucking chore. It's a fucking slog.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But even though that's on the border of what I've been talking about, and I would totally accept it, it's not where we
Well,
started.
then just accept it.
I have.
I'm not sure he has. He's just saying that.
I have totally accepted this. There are tons of chores.
Right. Okay. So where were you going with this originally? Because you asked me which ones do I like doing, and then I eventually said that I don't like doing any of them besides the watering of the garden plants.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about just, like where you land on, there's a lot of chores that have to get done, the stuff that you have to do to get through life, and, the stuff you do constantly. It's on the regular.
Yeah.
And
I'll
sometimes
volunteer doing the cooking a lot of the time.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoy cooking.
Yeah.
I don't actually feel like cooking's a chore.
Yeah. Cooking can be fun. I think if I had to do it all the time, it would become a chore. But I rarely cook. But my diet is a really weird one. So,
All of his diet comes out of like tubes. He's an astronaut.
It's all freeze dried. I just, I opened it
Car
up.
maintenance is not an errand. Real chicken tender. An errand?
Yeah. For me, I guess household chores, it boils down to the stuff that you do in the house that you have to do on the regular, like daily or weekly. The once a month stuff is probably part of that chore, but the once a year stuff is not really household chores in that sense. I think we would eventually get there. But I guess for me, the household chores, how I separate it with my living partner is pretty easy. I think there are two things that are important about that. One, I'm the only one who knows how to fill a dishwasher, and I just don't understand why people can't learn how to do it. And the second thing is, I kind of really like kind of like doing the laundry. It's an easy thing to do, and I like the meditation of shaking it out and hanging it up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm at on that one.
What did you say before the laundry?
Dishwashers.
Dishwashers. So, what is your object when you're stacking the dishwasher? To get as much in there as possible?
No. It depends on what's happening. But generally, you're looking for a balance of fullness and cleaningness.
Is it still going to get clean? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to stack it so that it's not going to get clean.
Exactly.
The art is stacking as much in there as possible, but it will still get clean.
Yes. And I think sometimes you get very ambitious and people will start just putting in too much just to stack it in there. And it's mostly fine. I mean, dishwashers as a technology are pretty proven, and your dishwasher is pretty much going to work. And if your dishwasher isn't really good at just doing its job on the reg, then get a new dishwasher because they're fairly cheap and I think they're a great thing. That said, there are just some, easy practices. Or if you know that the plates get washed here, just always put the plates there. And sometimes there are people that will just open the thing and stick something in, rather than just put it in a place where they are always there.
Yes, I understand.
I'm not talking to anyone in particular. I'm talking to
no. This is a note to the universe. Obviously.
A note to the universe. I mean, I suppose there is an argument to be said that everyone has their own way of stacking a dishwasher.
No. Most people are wrong.
But I would also agree with the fact that most people are wrong.
No.
Because I know how to stack a dishwasher. Just follow the rack slots. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to start.
That's a great place to start, but that's really a noob approach to stacking a dishwasher.
Well,
you have no finesse if you're just looking at the rack slots.
It's not just about the slots. It's about how your shit fits into the slots.
Yeah, like how many times have I tried to fit something into a dishwasher and then looked at the back of the plate and I'm going to go and see these assholes tomorrow and ask them how the fuck they thought this was ever going to fit into a standard dishwasher. Like when you designed this piece of whatever the fuck it is, it's useless if it won't go in my dishwasher. It fits in my kitchen, you idiots, but not in my dishwasher. Give me my money back. Villeroy and Boch. Yes?
People ruin everything.
They do.
They really, really do. This is where I'm at tonight.
Yeah, so I've been watching this little show on YouTube recently.
On YouTube?
YouTube.
I've been watching this
YouTube.
little show on YouTube.
And it's this guy who reviews kitchen appliances.
Okay.
Some of them are hand-driven, some of them are electric, and some of them are old.
Right.
Like 60s and 70s stuff, right? Vintage stuff. And he tests them on usability. And then he kind of talks about, well, if I had to read, because he's a kitchen gadget designer, and then he talks about how he would upgrade this.
Right.
Yeah. And he always talks about how is it usable? How does it fit into what you're doing? What is your standard kitchen like? How tall are you? How should things be if you're designing them to work in human hands?
Right.
Like a lot of the time, there's a gadget that you need two hands and an elbow and a knee to operate it because otherwise it's going to jump. It's like trying to hold down a hog. Right? And he's like, well, why don't they just make this foot wider so that the thing is just more stable, right?
Yeah.
And it's so obvious. And
I hear you.
I feel the same way about dishwashers a lot of the time. Like you go and you buy brand new plates from IKEA.
Yeah.
And there is not a single dishwasher that.
Okay, well the problem is that's an IKEA problem because IKEA,
But they don't sell a dishwasher that those plates will fit into.
No, because IKEA produces things that don't fit anything else. If you ever buy any sheets from IKEA, it will not fit any of your blankets.
It's not a single bed. It's not a single bed that will fit on.
But no, the sheet won't fit the blanket, or it only fits a certain size of. Everything is just a little wrong.
Yeah, it's 201 centimeters by 57 by 60.
Yeah,
it's like what?
Fuck
what?
you.
Yeah.
So I can totally imagine that IKEA plates are going to fuck with your standardizations of stuff. But that's the thing. The noob thing goes, go with the slots, absolutely, but then start to experiment and finesse your way to figure out how your shit fits in. And then just always put it in there like that. Yes. Don't experiment. Don't think like, well, I'll try it over here this time.
No, when you found your mojo, you stick to your mojo.
Your shit has fit into this thing. You filled it up. It's because that stuff goes here and that stuff goes there. So just put the stuff there.
But actually, this is interesting because if I remember correctly, you're really bad at packing.
What? Who says this?
Because every time I've ever traveled with you anywhere,
yeah,
and we've been gone for like 2 days,
yeah,
you have this enormous
It's because when I was younger, I really ascribed to the idea there are two types of travelers, those who pack light and those who wish they did. And I lived that motto for a very long time.
You wish that you did?
No. I was a light packer. I was, oh man. But then after a while, I realized, fuck that. I want to have the luxury. I want to have the choice. I want to have the and so
right, okay.
I don't care.
Right.
It's just rolling with that. And I love it. I don't mind.
But you're a good packer, so you can get everything into one suitcase.
I would have two types of suitcases. I would have one as an overnight. I had an overnight one, and I had like a 7-day one.
He's doing this like overnight on the table as if that's the size of the overnight one, but you have to say the overnight one is more like here.
Yeah. In any case,
big blue giant of a suitcase.
And the ribbing that I would get about all my big suitcase, I don't mind. I don't mind. I'd like to have a change of shoes. I like to have, it was nice. I was
okay. But you're an expert packer though. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not an expert, but
Are you as good a packer as you are a dishwasher filler?
I'm a fairly good packer, yeah.
So not as good as a dishwasher filler.
No, I'm going to say, as I am the only one who knows how to pack a dishwasher, I know how to pack my bag.
Okay.
I'm on par. I'm a good bag packer.
All right.
You know what I love about my bag packing? Mm-hmm. Something that I really like is I got this wonderful thing for my shirts, where I can fold up my shirts, put them in, and it keeps them tight and down, and then I always look crisp wherever I go. Big fan of that.
Good.
I used to do the packing cubes for a while. You want to keep going with this?
No.
Nope.
I've lost interest completely.
Yep, he did.
But we can talk about things that you pack.
No.
But that might be another topic. No, that's definitely another topic.
That's definitely another topic.
Obscure things that you pack when you go somewhere.
I want to find out. I think we saw all of this.
No. There's stuff down here.
There's stuff down here. Changing the toilet paper roll seems a very difficult thing to do.
Oh no, that's super easy.
Yeah.
But I think Moko's talking about kids, about teenagers.
Yeah. Teenagers not doing the thing.
I don't know. I remember how difficult it was to change the toilet roll. It seemed impossible at the time. I've gotten really, really used to it. I've gotten expert at changing the toilet roll.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think there's a genetic thing there. Or maybe it's a gender thing there. I don't know. Maybe
I haven't changed gender or genes.
No. Because I'm a role changer as well. Or maybe it's just everyone just feels like they are the role changer.
No. I was definitely all through my teenage years not the role changer.
I see.
No.
Okay.
I would definitely like.
So it's an age thing, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. Teenagers don't give a shit.
No.
Teenagers are useless.
When it comes to, but I think teenagers are useless when it comes to lots of things.
Yeah.
Not just chores. But maybe, Monica, we could talk about teenagers at some point. Maybe it's being a teenager or living with teenagers.
Yeah, in about 13 years we can talk about that.
On teenagers or being teenagers.
If we're not careful here, it will be all about dishwashers from now on. Yeah. Okay, good. I think you're right. I'm super happy that we got to do a chapter on household chores, and I'm glad we figured out for everybody how those all, what's a chore and what's not. So I think we should just move on to a...
We're not careful, it'll be about dishwashers from now on.
All right, I'm going to move on. This is a commercial.
I'm going to have one more drink.
Okay, when we come back,
Microphone's on. Isn't it? Shall I turn it off? And we're back.
And we're back. So
I still don't have any drink.
you don't. So I wanted to mention before we roll on with this show,
Yeah.
our very good friend, our colleague, our lover,
The Sinead O'Connor impersonator in our group.
the woman with the longest name in improv.
The only Australian we know.
Bronwyn
Like,
Lee.
do you ever really know an Australian? Oh, and it's Invasion Day today.
Yeah. Anyway, what we're trying to get to, not very well, is the fact that it's Bronwyn's birthday from the English Lovers, and so we wanted to say hello to Bronwyn and happy birthday, darling. And the other thing we wanted to mention was we saw some things on the ISBAZ HQ today. Yes. We saw some things on the ISBAZ HQ today, and somebody was mentioning panties, and interestingly enough, we've been thinking about making some ISBAZ panties. What do you think? We're going to make some ISBAZ underwear. It says slurp slurp on the front. And then on the back it says it should be about something. Are we into it? All right, whatever.
I'm totally into it.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's that. I have a
Slurping our way
slurp.
into topic number 3.
Yeah, man.
In fact, which is an interesting topic. Shall we go for it? Or should we just hit this?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Chapter 3.
Free-for-all.
It's a free-for-all. Ask us anything. You know, we're always asking the questions, and we thought because it's our 60th episode, we would let you all ask the questions. So you can refer to one or both of us, and we will do our utmost to answer whatever you ask.
Sounds genius. ISBAZ panties. Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah. So this is the question. Do we want to have like unisex panties or close to unisex panties that like boys and girls could wear? Or do we want to have dedicated girls' panties and boys' panties? Just putting it out there.
Putting it out there, because we're going to make this happen.
Think about it.
We've got all kinds of stuff in the pipeline, on the swag line, on the swag tip.
Verena would probably rather have a hat, a real hat,
A hat? A real hat?
like a felt hat or a straw hat.
Straw hat? Like one of those 1920s boater hats with a ribbon and then with the circle, but there it says it should be about something. Hello,
It's
my
an
baby.
orange-
Hello, my mama.
orange and
Hello,
blue.
hello,
Hello, my good
ragtime. Okay, so our first question coming in, hot off the presses,
Do you like the way you smell?
from the Real Chicken Tender. Do you like the way you smell? Yes. I generally like the way I smell.
Going with right now, not so much.
I'm not even going to.
What's the time? It's 9:30 at night. So this shirt has seen some duty today.
You said duty.
Duty.
You said duty. Yeah, so you, right now, but in general, do you like the way you smell? Do you have a favorite smell?
I think lavender is one of my favorite smells. We have lavender soap because I smelled this particular lavender soap in a restaurant that we went to, and I said to I said to the waitress, I really like the smell of that soap you've got there. And she came back and she was like, oh, by the way, it's this and this soap. And we've had that soap since because I just really like the smell of it.
Yeah, well, don't hold back. I want to know what that. I want to try that soap.
I can't remember. I'm not the one who does the shopping for soap chore.
I see. So you like the smell of lavender, but do you like the smell of yourself in general?
I guess so. I don't really think about my own smell that much.
Yeah, yeah, because you're just bathed in it. Do you like the smell of the people you live with?
Generally, yes. I think the smell.
Who gets stinkier more often?
Oh, it's definitely me.
Yeah, yeah,
it's definitely me.
Yeah.
Come on, you know this. You didn't have to ask me.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear you say it.
I'm definitely the smellier one of the two of us.
Yeah.
I think I'm the smellier one of the two of us, in fact.
You are the smellier of the... Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Yeah.
I don't really mind my own smell that much most of the time.
Yeah.
But I am picky about how other people smell.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Next question. Since when do you guys do improv?
When did you do your first improv show? Like your first improvised show
as actually knowing that it's improv?
That you're actually improvising a show. And for an audience.
I'm in an improvised show for an audience where I knew this was improvised theater, improv as we know it. Is going to be with the Urtheater sometime.
Like 1999?
Yeah, 98.
2002?
No, 98. It's
Really?
going to be 98. Yeah. Yeah, but I was improvising before that, but I just didn't know that it was called improv.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that would have been 98.
I think I did my first real improv show in 2000 or 2001. But I had joined the English Lovers, and I'd had some improv experience at drama school.
Right.
And I joined the English Lovers in 98 or thereabouts. And then I went to Salzburg for 2 years. And when I came back, the Lovers had got into improv, and I kind of missed the boat on that, totally. So when I came back, you were all improvising.
Right.
And then I kind of just jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
So I think my first show for an audience must have been like 2001, maybe 2000, somewhere around there.
That could be. I just recently saw some pictures. There's a group here of us in Vienna. There's a group of people who asked me to be involved. And they're creating a history of improvisation in Vienna. And the wonderful Manuela came by with some pictures of like you and Kathy and Anne playing 2003 in super old school looking.
Is this going to be a digital thing? Is this going to be online? We really need to post this.
Yeah,
cool.
It's going to be great.
What was the name of the Christmas improv detective Michael played?
No idea.
I don't know.
I don't know if he even had a name.
He did.
He did.
Yeah. But thank you for reminding me. I think I'm going to go and do an edit of that. I think it needs to be reviewed.
Yeah. That was a really fun show. What's your preferred method of hair removal, if any? That's a good one.
Going to the barber.
Yeah, that would be the preferred one.
It's definitely my preferred removal.
I'm suspecting though that what Marcus means is not haircut hair removal, but bodily facial hair removal.
Yeah. So for a long time, it used to be just a beard trimmer, and so I wouldn't actually shave. I just use the beard trimmer on the shortest thing, or without the
keep a scruff. You kept a scruff.
Well, if you take the head off and you just use the thing, it's kind of short. It's like 1.5 millimeters, maybe, right? It's not really.
But it's not an electric razor.
No.
No,
I hate electric razors because they shave me so close that I just get.
You get all kinds of pimply and rash.
And
the
hair on the hair on my face grows in all sorts of different directions. So and particularly on my neck, I just get the most terrible rashes and ingrown hairs and stuff like that.
So Bannigan would use those all the time, right, when we were on tour. And I was always a little bit jealous because they look so cool. And I used one once when I was far too young probably to use it, but it was awful. It was terrible.
I've had 2 in my life and I would not recommend it.
I am now thinking about getting a beard trimmer because I've had the beard.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while. And I'm also, there are plans of getting rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
making plans.
So don't get the beard trimmer if you're going to get rid of the beard.
Yeah, but it'll come back.
Right.
But I'd like to have, I feel like that would be really fun to do. Yeah.
I can recommend products by the company Brown. They make very good.
I did a
beard
bunch of
trimmers.
voiceovers for
Like
Brown
the one I
years
have
ago.
is, I bought it in the 90s and it's still going strong.
Brown, they got some solid
fucking destructible.
solid shit.
But on the subject of facial hair removal, like when I'm shaving, I've been through a couple of electric razors.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan. And I've used like the really expensive 2 and 3 blade razors with the
Fuck it, we're going to 5.
with the stripe
5
and
blades.
whatever. And they're just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So then for a long time I was just using single blade throwaway Bics. Probably close to the best shaves I ever had until I started using a blade.
Just a single razor blade. Yeah. Do you have a safety razor thing?
No, I have
A long blade.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I sharpen myself because nobody can fucking sharpen those things. I took it to a shop once to have it sharpened and I got it back and it was like, really, you call this sharp?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to shave with this?
Yeah.
I could write to Kimberly on this and I would not bleed. Anyway, whatever. So I sharpen everything. Like, this is one of the household chores actually that I enjoy doing is sharpening everything in the house. Like I have a couple of days a year.
Right.
I sit down and I get everything that has a blade on it, including the hatchet I use for chopping the wood.
We used to have in my
And I
house.
sharpen everything.
You're a grinder. We had in my house when I was a kid.
So sharp that I can cut paper with it.
Cut paper with it. We had in my house when I was a kid. There was like it was like a wood cut or a wood printed on something, and it was an old poster of like the laws of a public house from ye olde, and one of like no grinders.
Okay. Right.
No tinkerers. Tinker or grinders. The grinders were the with the wheel and the sharpeners.
Tinker, tailor, soldier, sailor.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
What's one thing you'd like to do professionally, achieve, produce?
No, start up here.
Sorry, I didn't realize we'd moved on.
Yeah, we're up here. What do you like the most on Jim? And Jim, what the most on Michael?
I think she means about.
Yes.
Shall I go first?
Yes, she asked you first.
Oh, right. What I value most about James...
What do you like the most?
What I like the most about Jim,
Yeah.
is that he comes up with ideas. He's a comer-upper of ideas. Like he's got really great imagination. So it's good to be around people like that. That's what I like about him most.
That's nice. That reminds me of what my 2nd grade teacher said of me. She said, "Jim Libby, you are a catalyst."
Did she mean it in a good way?
I think she did, but I think she was a little frustrated with me because I had probably gotten a bunch of people to do something really stupid.
Okay. Improvise climbing up the church tower.
What do I like the most about Michael? Oh man, I don't know about the most. But one thing I really like about Michael is his he has an incredible reserve of patience that I admire unbelievably, because he'll be patient with my weird ideas, for example, or be patient with the fact that I have to talk out these things. You know, I have to pitch them. But also for situations where he has this really wonderful implacability that I think is attributed to a huge reserve of patience. And I like that a lot about you.
Well, thank you, James.
Sure, man.
What would you do for a living if you couldn't do anything artistic? Haha.
What's one thing you'd like
I'd do something with my hands. The older I get, the more I want to do something with my hands. So I'd be a bricklayer or a builder of houses, or like a carpenter or a cabinet maker. That's something I'd really like to do.
If I couldn't do anything
Grow
artistic,
vegetables. I like gardening. I've really got into gardening. Plant trees, then chop them down and make firewood.
you can do that for a living? Planting trees and
Then
chopping them down for firewood?
Yeah, oh, that's a great
That's
living.
you're going to be a firster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and live out in the forest.
This question scares me a little bit. What would I do if I couldn't do anything artistic? I don't know.
I think cabinet maker or
I would be a terrible cabinet maker.
I think it still has something artistic.
Yeah. Absolutely. No. You can't do any of that shit. I don't know.
Okay, so then maybe I'd be a train driver. I'd like to be a train driver.
Right?
But it would probably have to be really mundane trains, because as soon as you start getting into vintage trains, then it has something artistic to it.
There's an art to it, yeah. I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. I don't know what I would do. I mean, what would I do?
I think, okay, so
What could you see me doing?
I could see you being the manager of a restaurant.
Ha! Yeah, okay. I would run a bar.
Or managing the kitchen. Like, actually,
no.
Yeah, no. It has to be non-artistic. Managing a bar is too artistic. Running the kitchen.
Running a kitchen?
Yeah. Just keeping that place ship-shape. Stack that dishwasher properly.
Yeah. Real chicken tender. Wouldn't I be the dishwasher? I would just be the dishwasher. I would be the best damn tomato you ever saw.
The dishwasher stacker.
Oh, that's a tough one. I really need to get back to you on that, Moko. What's one thing you'd like to do professionally, achieve, produce? Whew, that's a good one too. Okay, so one thing that I would love to achieve professionally or produce. I would love to do a big budget improv show with in a big theater with a Drehbühne and with sonographers and Bühnenbildner and costume and makeup, everything on stage, so you see everything happening, and that the Drehbühne is turning to get to the new thing that has been set up by the sonographers, so that, and then with an orchestra for everything, have it just be as bare and invisible as possible, but to be able to pay 20 plus people to do a full-on Broadway-style improv show.
Cool.
That's one thing I would love to do in my life.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah, right?
I think you better start putting together that cast.
Okay.
I think that's going to be difficult to find that cast.
Oh, no, I don't think the cast is the difficult part.
No, the money probably. You probably know. You probably know the cast that you.
Oh yeah.
Right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
like
cast
you
up
only
that
need 20
show.
people. Yeah.
I could cast up that show, but I mean, not only I don't need 20 actors. I want
No, it needs 20 actors and then 100 people running the thing.
Yeah. I want the costume people. I want makeup people. I want
I think I'd love to be in a
set
show.
directors.
I've always wanted to be in a show where you see everything.
Yeah.
So like, there's no backstage.
It's just all invisible. It's the invisible man.
When the actor walks off stage, he's taking off the costume and he's
And you
walking
see-
in, but because you're improvising, you're like, the next scene I play, I want to play this character. I need this costume. I need this makeup.
Yeah. But then the makeup and the costume people are already there. They know they're coming off because they've watched the thing. They're like, oh, well, of course he's going there. Boom, boom, get it done. And then the sonographers are like setting up the living room because we know in the next scene we're going to come back to the living room.
Yeah.
Boom. Nice. I think it would be fucking amazing.
Nice. Yeah, like do that in the Stadthalle.
Yeah.
Cool.
In the Burgtheater. I want a big stage.
No, it has to be the Stadthalle so you can see it from all sides.
Ah, right.
Or like Halle E at the
yeah. So you can get people on three sides. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, 3 sides and top down.
3 sides and top down. Yeah. I love it. All right. So we're looking for angel investors now. You can get in on the ground floor of a project that's only going up. What else we got?
I want to still answer this.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that I'd like to do is record a record and then go on tour. And I don't actually care how big the tour is. I just want to go on tour.
And sell the record. Oh, I love it.
Less about selling the record, actually, more about playing the venues.
I hear you. I know. Nowadays, you have to make an album so that you have something to sell when you go on tour.
I guess so. Yeah. But like, I'd really like to go on tour.
Mm-hmm.
It tends to degrade the health, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like my live band experience is fairly comprehensive, and it does degrade the health. It's a huge amount of work, but at a level where it's not that much work. So if I went on tour on my own, it's just me and a guitar. I come in, I sit down, I plug, I play, and I get in the car and I drive, or I get in the bus and I go to the next place. Right?
Yeah.
That's the kind of tour that I'd love to do.
Yeah.
And I don't actually care whether it's European or Asian or Australasian or US tour. But I'd really like to do something like that.
I would love to do that.
Like opening for somebody.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun?
I'd love to open for Colin James Hay because he does a one-man show as well.
Right.
He's been doing his one-man show for like 25 years.
Yeah, sure.
Minute work. He's been doing his one-man show, right? I'd love to open for Colin James Hay. Like, just do 45 minutes before Colin James Hay comes on.
Do you have a favorite Men at Work album?
No.
I think Business as Usual is the best one. I think it's better than Cargo.
Probably. But I have a favorite Men at Work person, and it's Colin James Hay.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Everything that man touches is gold.
Yeah. Jim would be an awesome lift boy. Going up, going down.
He'd do a lot of going down.
There's a lot of weather happening today. You're going to need your umbrella, sir. I would love to be a lift boy. Or sell men's clothes. Yeah. I suppose I could sell it. It would have to be in like one of those really nice shops, but as soon as I say that, Michael would say, no, it's a little too artistic.
It's a little bit too artistic,
yeah.
Jim really likes to dress people. I've seen this happen.
Yeah.
It can, like hours of your life can run by.
Does the show start at load-in and light hang? Yeah. Does the show start at load-in and light hang? Yeah, you see everything. You have to be there. You have to buy tickets to the building of the theater. You buy tickets to the groundbreaking, and it's a real-time show.
Yeah. It's a lifetime investment.
Yeah.
We had a show that was a bit like that called Zack, Zack, Zack. You could see the actors change in the background. Yeah. I like that. Zack, Zack, Zack.
Yeah. And Pavlov's dog will be our producer if she wins the lottery. So, into it. Thank you very much.
Sweet. So now all we have to do is wait for Pavlov to win the lottery.
And then it's clear sailing, people.
Yeah.
It's clear sailing.
You bought that sweepstakes ticket yet, Pavlov?
I think we did it. I think we got through chapter 3.
Dang.
That was it. Those were all the questions we got.
Boy.
We did a lot of them. And I think we got some good truths out there.
Yeah, I think we're done with the show. It's like an hour and 22 minutes.
Not bad.
I think it's the shortest show this season.
It could be. But before we go, we would like to mention that Isbaz comes to you every week. Next week we will be back.
We will be back next week with topics to be decided by me.
Episode 61. Michael's going to figure out what we're going to talk about. In the between time, if you haven't been there, get on the ISBAZ HQ. That is the funky Facebook group.
Yeah.
There is a link in the chat. No, not in the chat, in the description. And that's a great place to hang out with people. And I need to go back in there because there's some really funny things that people have put in there.
There's 2 more questions.
We missed 2 questions? What questions did we meet?
Oh, what do you think you should definitely try to eat?
What?
Here, Swinger Club NRC.
Oh, Swinger Club NRC.
What do you think you should definitely try to eat?
What do you
Well,
think
I
you should
realized the other day
definitely
that I was talking to my mom on the phone, and she's out in the bush somewhere, and she was like, oh, we had this barbecue of, and then she named like 3 different antelope, and I was like, why have I not eaten this antelope yet? And why have I not eaten that other antelope yet? So there's a list of antelope that I have yet to eat. And it's not about trying. They're on my list to be eaten.
Have I gotten those yet? I want to get those goji berries, those magic berries that make everything sweet. Have you tried those? I can't remember if I've actually tried those.
Yeah, I think we've tried these.
Or did I get some? Somebody got some.
Yeah, I think it was not a good idea.
Oh no, it was super fun. Yeah. You eat the berry and then like you can bite into a lemon and it tastes like lemonade. It's crazy. It makes everything taste sweet. It was very cool.
No, we've tried this. I've tried this. Maybe we have not tried. Maybe we've tried this independently of each other. I did not like the experience.
Okay. Well, you often don't like experiences. What was our other question that we missed?
I'm going to give you an experience you're never going to forget.
What are your guilty pleasures?
Oh, guilty pleasures.
Guilty pleasures. I don't know. They're all pleasures. I try not to feel guilt about my pleasures. But I know what you mean. It's what most people think about, when you say guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure is riding a motorcycle.
There's nothing guilty about that pleasure. Why is that guilty?
No, I feel a little bit guilty about riding a motorcycle as a hobby. It's not necessarily a particularly, umweltschonende hobby.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I do think I don't use a piston-driven vehicle for daily transit. So I've got some...
Right. It's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, I like that. I hear that.
Kind of afford to allow myself to do that occasionally.
Yeah, I try not to feel guilty about my pleasures. I can't think of a guilty pleasure that I have now. Although, yeah, when I get into that mood and I'm eating a bunch of chocolate, that becomes my guilty pleasure. Or if I'm in that time when I'm eating all the ice cream, that's a guilty pleasure. I often feel guilty about it. But I try not to feel guilty.
You feel guilty towards yourself about it.
Yeah. Nah. Life's too short. Fuck the guilt.
Put good and bad things on the bucket list.
That's right.
On the to-do list.
So what we're putting in there then is what we're saying is, if you haven't, go to ISBAZ HQ and say hi to the folks there in the between the weeks. And we're going to keep working on all the stuff.
Also, in the ISBAZ HQ, we've got a whole list of things that we might want to review in future. So go and click those.
Yeah, there's a
poll.
poll.
Of Clay set up a poll. So go and click that poll, and you can add things to the poll. I think everybody can add things to the poll.
Everybody can add things to the poll. Just suggest something.
We'll have
that
this
you'd like
poll
to have
going,
reviewed.
and maybe we'll figure out something that we could review for us and for you.
Yeah, and if you want to send us something for us to review, you're more than glad to do.
Drop us a line on ISBAZ or on Facebook, and we'll give you an address to send something.
Oh, they've got the email. They can just email us at isbaz101.
isbaz101
at gmail.com. Their link for that is also in the description. So get in touch for any business, any reason.
See, I completely forgot that we had our own email address.
Yeah, and we're working on the swag. We told them about that. We have the stickers. Did you see the pictures? Tom, the wonderful Tom Fishdick, sent some pictures. He's got some ISBAZ stickers. I'll send them to you. I think maybe
we need to post them in the ISBAZ HQ.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay.
Good, you're doing that.
I think this was perhaps
The best.
the best is best ever.
Ever.
This was really, this was the best
No,
is
I'm
best
convinced.
ever. Yeah,
It was the best of all time.
absolutely. We did it. Let's
done.
done it. Let's say goodbye really quick. We'll do the
Father
thing.
of Clay
Okay, hold on.
and
Let's
Pavlov
Pavlov's dog. Marcus.
and Arap,
Thank you. The Real Chicken Tender.
Swinger Club NRC,
Thank you for joining us.
Monica,
Verena.
Christina,
And
reiterations of yourselves.
No. Hold on. There's some more. We said
Pavlov,
Yeah.
Verena, your follower.
I remember somebody said something about. Oh yeah, the Russians.
The Russian bot. The Russian bot. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
See
Russian
you
bot.
again next time.
Super cool.
Marcus.
Monica.
Monica.
Yeah, and wasn't Philly Girl here? Philly Girl 1000.
Philly Girl 1000 was here. And Toxic E12 T13.
T13 in the house. That's right. Okay. Good. And Andrew, who was here at the beginning. And that's it. Thank everyone for showing up. And to those of you who aren't in the chat but are just slurping in the background, thank you also for showing up. Please keep doing that. We're going to keep showing up as often as we can. And it's great. Thank you.
Are we going to hug it out?
We're going to just not even try.
Shall we try?
Shall we try?
What's the first line?
And remember,
No matter what it was about.
no, remember,
No, even if you disagree.
no, whatever the problem, or whatever, no matter the problem, or what it was,
no matter what the topic or what it
it
was
was about,
even if you disagree, you can always hug it out.
Hug it out.
Hug it out.
Hug it out. Hug it out.
We got nothing.
Just a whole lot of nothing. Post credit nothing. It's not a post credit thingy. It's a post credit no thingy.
It's a post credit no thingy. I love it. Thank you. We're done.